Hey there everybody, Seja here, founder of the School of Evolutionary Herbalism, and it's Saturday, which means it's the day ruled by Saturn. You know, it's kind of interesting seeing that there's 7 days of the week, which correspond to the 7 planets of astrology, and we still see some of the words associated with the days of the week, right? What we call them: Saturn Day, Sunday, Day of the Sun, Monday or Moon Day, etc. And so I wanted to talk with you about one of my top #1 Saturnian medicines, oak. And here we are in Southern Oregon, and it's springtime, and the oaks just started leafing out over the last few weeks, and everything just got looking really lush around here since those oaks started to leaf out. So I wanted to share with you some of the ways in which oak bark relates to the planet Saturn. So in general, in medical astrology, Saturn has an overall energetic quality of being very cooling, but very constricting and tightening, and it has this downward bearing kind of energetic quality. Now, one of the things that we notice about oak bark is that its primary use in herbal medicine is as an astringent. And for those of you that maybe don't know what an astringent is, if you've ever, had a bunch of bananas and you really wanted to eat a banana, but one of them was like looking a little bit green, but you're like, oh, I still really want to eat the banana. So you open the banana and you eat it, and all of a sudden your mouth kind of puckers up and tightens. That's astringency. Or if you ever made yourself a cup of green tea, let it sit a little too long, and you drink it and it dries your mouth out and everything kind of puckers, that's astringency. So oak bark, I consider the king of the astringents. This is like one of our most drying, constricting astringent remedies, which is very similar to the energetic quality of Saturn. Well, it is the energetic quality of Saturn. And so the way that oak bark is used primarily is to tighten and tonify tissues in the body that are weak, deficient, or what we would call the lax tissue state. You know, if you think your tissues, you want them to have nice, tight tone to them, right? But sometimes the tissues become leak and lax and kind of lazy and flaccid and just like blah, they kind of just lose all of their tone and their structure, right? And Saturn is the ruler of form, right? It's the ruler of structure. It represents boundaries. It represents limitations. And so oak bark is one of this incredible remedies that brings the structure, the tone, the tensile strength back to the tissues to reestablish firm boundaries in the body. So we can see that having a lot of different applications. For example, organ prolapse, which is when organs, the connective tissues become weak and lax, and the organs start to drop and kind of sink out of place. Or leaky gut syndrome is a great example, more modern example of lax tissues. The gut wall all of a sudden becomes permeable. It's lost its structure and strength. Oak bark comes in there and tightens and tonifies and brings that strength back into the tissues. So we see that astringency of oak has a lot of different applications. It's a very, very strong, as I said, the king of the astringents, very powerful remedy. But we also see when we're working with herbs astrologically that it not only brings about the physical quality of Saturn, but it brings about that psychological and spiritual quality of Saturn too. And oak is one of this incredible remedies that initiates us into the sphere of Saturn, the sphere of influence of Saturn, and really imbuing those teachings about structure and strength and our boundaries and all things related to Saturn. So I just wanted to take a little bit of time, talk about oak bark and its relationships to Saturn. Got a 3-video series, a little mini course out on astrology and herbalism. Head on over to my blog at evolutionaryherbalism.com, plug your name and email in there, and I've got over 3 hours of free content, bunch of PDF downloads, and some amazing teachings there on how you can incorporate astrology into your work with herbs. So happy Saturn Day, everybody, and we'll see you later.